This is about finding doable, energizing ways to keep your body moving so that you can actually feel better, sleep better, and show up stronger for everything else in your life. Now, in case you don't know me, and you're new to the group, I'm Dr. Jamie Kriskowski, holistic health coach and nutritionist and certified mental wellness coach. And I don't just coach, I help especially women over 40 reclaim their God-given vitality. And I combine faith, functional science, and fierce strategy to help you balance hormones, burn stubborn fat, boost energy, and finally feel like yourself again without compromising your values or your sanity. So let's be real. The holidays are full. They're full of joy, they're full of to-dos, full of sugar, full of late nights, and often full of stress. And sometimes movement, well, it's one of the best natural tools that we have to stay grounded, balanced, and energized. Now, you may say, why is movement so important? I know I'm supposed to move my body, but it's just something that I've never really understood. So let me just break it down a second. Your body was designed to move. And when we don't get enough movement, we're sitting for hours on end, we're glued to our phones or our computers, or maybe binge watching a show or Christmas movies or something. Any Hallmark movie fans out there? If we are watching those for long periods of time, then it can really affect a lot of different things within our bodies. Your energy can tank, your hormones get out of whack, your sleep can be disrupted, and your stress response goes into overdrive. And so then we may wonder why we feel bloated, brain foggy, unmotivated, and like we're dragging through the day. But movement, especially when it's consistent daily movement, tells the body, hey, we're safe, we've got this. And it will boost our feel-good hormones like endorphins and dopamine. If you've ever heard of the runner's high, well, that's endorphin release. And so it can also help us to drain our lymphatic system, and flush out toxins, which can be really beneficial for us. It helps to balance our blood sugar, support digestion, and it even helps to regulate cortisol. And that's our body's main stress hormone. I know that we've talked about that a lot here, and I'm sure that you have heard of that. And another thing I can add here too is that sometimes the holidays and we're eating different kinds of foods and maybe not being as well hydrated as we should. And so we might have issues going to the bathroom and having bowel movements. And movement is something that can help with that as well. So yes, even 5 to 10 minutes of movement can start shifting your whole mood and your metabolism. So you may say, Dr. K, I don't have time right now. Well, I get it. I'm a college professor. We're just finishing up the semester and getting into finals and everything next week and all the grading and everything, and let alone all the family things that are going on and other holiday things. So just want to give you a few quick wins and just know that there are a lot of people in a very similar boat to you as you are. And we want to make things work for our own personal situations. I know with some, if you are in retail right now, you are probably really busy with all of that as well. And if you're in a retail job where you are walking a lot, kudos to you for all of the extra steps that you're getting in during this time, because that can be something that can be really good for you. All right, so a couple of quick wins. Simple ways to sneak movement into your day, even when you're juggling everything else. One is a morning movement streak. Start with about 5 minutes of movement, literally just 5 minutes in the morning. Do some stretching, do some body weight squats. If you saw my video on some ways to boost your metabolism with different sorts of methods, if you have a vibration plate, that was one of them that I had shared. If you have a vibration plate, well, that could be something good to get your body moving as well. You can march in place while you're brushing your teeth. Simple things. And what this does is it tells your nervous system, we are not in survival mode. We're going to be okay. And it's also good for your balance to do things like that as well. Number 2, the 2-song rule. Pick 2 of your favorite songs and just move. Now, extra bonus if you choose an extra long song like American Pie or something like that. I think that's like an 8-minute song. But you can, during those 2 songs, dance, walk, stretch, sway back and forth, whatever feels good to you. And by the time that the 6-ish minutes are up, or if you pick a longer song, maybe a little longer than that, then your heart rate will be up and your energy will be up as well. Number 3, commercial breaks we want to do some mini circuits. So if you're watching a Christmas movie, and every time if you happen to have a streaming service or something where there's commercials, then I know we don't pay the extra to not have commercials, so we end up with that. Then during a commercial, or maybe during a scene that you've seen 100 times, stand up and do 10 body weight squats or a plank hold or something like that. Get your body moving. Number 4, holiday hustle walk. So if you're shopping at the mall or wherever you might be, park further away on purpose. Take an extra lap, maybe around a few aisles or around the store before heading to the checkout line. Now, those steps can really add up. Now, again, if you're in retail or something, you're already getting those steps in, then let's focus on the stretching and focus on some strength training instead. A 5th one is kitchen core. So if you're waiting for the oven to preheat, do 30 standing knee lifts or maybe kitchen counter push-ups or something. You don't need extra time, you just need intention. And some ovens will heat up quicker than others, and so just depending on your particular situation, you may end up with an opportunity to do 5 minutes worth of exercise in that moment. Just remember that it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just needs to be possible. Now, something that I love to do is if we are watching a movie or a show or something like that as a family, is to put a mat on the floor in the living room and to do stretching while we're watching something. And then you can also do some simple movements as well. And that just provides that extra little bit of movement, and you're still with the family and getting a few minutes in when you can. Now, as always, I have to have a disclaimer that these fitness ideas are just for educational purposes. They should not be considered as medical advice or treatment. You always want to consult with your healthcare provider before starting any sort of new fitness program, especially if you have any existing conditions, injuries, or you're taking any medications. Now, the other part of this is we have to talk about motivation, because I know this time of year can really feel like we're constantly pouring out with very little time to refill our own cup. But I just want you to hear this. Movement isn't punishment. It's nourishment. It's a gift that you give your body so it can give back to you. And you don't need a gym membership or a fancy program or even a full hour. And I would highly recommend getting your family involved. My family has been doing push-ups every night for, I don't know, the last month or so. This was something we used to do years ago and got away from it. And we have just been doing that consistently. Everyone can do as many as they're comfortable with. You can be on your knees or on your toes, whatever feels comfortable. But that's something that everyone does it. And then we're getting that extra little bit in before bed. Now, sometimes we need a little extra mindset shift. And, and we need to change from, oh, I have to work out, to I get to move. I'm worth it. And I'm grateful for this body that God has given me. And sometimes I feel like maybe we're not grateful enough. I can tell you this story when I worked at a trauma hospital in Seattle, and I grew up out on the West Coast, and I was working in this trauma hospital, and I worked with physical therapy, recreational therapy, and occupational therapy at the time. I was an aide. It was after undergrad. And I would work on all the different floors as an aide. And part of rec therapy is we would get the patients out into the real world and acclimating, because many of them, because it was a trauma hospital, many of them had some major changes in their lives. Some were paraplegics, some maybe quadriplegics, others were burn survivors, or just many different things that may have happened. And I remember there was this gentleman who had injured himself rock climbing, and now he was a paraplegic. So he was paralyzed from the waist down. And the REI in Seattle at the time had the largest freestanding rock wall in all of the United States. And we had taken some of the patients there. And it was a cool experience to get to do rec therapy, especially with these trauma hospital patients, because we went there and there was someone that had I believe had muscular dystrophy. There was this gentleman that was now a paraplegic, and there was someone else who had had a traumatic brain injury and was needing to relearn some different things. But I love rock climbing, and I did competitions in college and did a lot of rock climbing, especially in college, and then also did some afterwards as well. But in that, so here I love rock climbing. I'm there with these patients, and here was this gentleman who is now a paraplegic who had his legs in this basket to hold them. And he was over on this rock wall, and he used an ascender to help him because your legs are a really big part of climbing. And an ascender helps you to go up, and then it kind of has a braking system that keeps you from falling. And so that was obviously a safe method for him. But he was climbing with his hands, and I looked at all the patients that were climbing at that time, and I just thought, wow, am I grateful as I should be for my fully functioning body that I have, when this person over here has muscular dystrophy and this person is now paraplegic, and they're up here and they're doing their best and they're climbing up this rock wall. And I mean, it was something that I'm an easy crier, but it was something that brought tears to my eyes, because it was just like, oh, I need to be more grateful that I do have a body that can do this, and that I'm capable in an easier way than some of these individuals that are climbing right now. But they're still doing it, right? I mean, they're still out there and trying their best. And so just want you to think about that, from the I have to the I get to, and that I am capable of this. And I'm so grateful to have a body that can move and do these things. So just my little storytelling tonight, because that's just something that came to mind, but something important for us. Because just a little secret for you, the more that you move, the more energy that you'll have to keep going. I realize at first, if we have been sedentary for a while, at first when we start moving, our body's going to be a little bit sore, and we need to make sure we don't overdo it too quickly. We need to have some rest days. But with time and consistency, we will gain the strength, the flexibility, the endurance, all of the things that we need to keep on going. So I just want to encourage you, start slow if you've been sedentary. Take that time and do the appropriate kind of workouts so that you don't overdo it, and then you will see yourself change very quickly. And with that, I have something new that's coming, and I know I have mentioned this, I think, sometime this summer. But if you are someone who wants to move more, but you wish that someone would just tell you exactly what to do, well, the new thing that I have is going to be coming out soon. I'm hoping in early January. But I've been working on with one of my daughters, who is a computer science guru, on this custom chatbot. And basically, a custom chatbot is something that I'm able to feed a bunch of information into it. And then you can go in and you can put in your information. And because of how I've primed it, it will take the guesswork out of creating a movement plan for you. And so you'll be able to plug in your time, your goals, whatever your vibe is that you like. It will give you a personalized movement routine right there on the spot. Now, it will also include eating as well, and some other things that are going to be included into all that, hormone-friendly foods and other things that we need. So whether you've got 10 minutes between meetings or you want a full body reset on Saturday morning, the tool, this custom chatbot, is going to help you stay consistent, supported, and motivated. But I don't want you to wait. I mean, I want you to keep an eye out for this, because this little helper is going to make moving your body and eating well so much easier in 2026. But I don't want you to hesitate to start moving now. Okay, we can get you some customized plans a little bit later. So in the meantime here, I'm just going to challenge you to do one thing today to get your body moving. Do you need to take the stairs in your house a couple of times? Do you need to do some dancing in your kitchen while you're making Christmas cookies or something like that? Just make sure you're not eating too many of the Christmas cookies. But you were created to move. You were created to thrive. And your body is cheering you on every step of the way. Now, I'm also rooting for you. So let me know in the comments what kind of movement helps you to feel most alive. Personally, for me, it's dancing or Zumba. Love that. Love to laugh. You don't have to be good at it. You just need to move and have some fun. So be sure to tag some friends who maybe need a little pep talk today about their movement. And I will see you all soon.